And most important, no matter how much they beg, never, never let them eat after midnight. Because when they do, they change. They become clever, mischievous.
What's going on here?
Steven Spielberg presents Gremlins.
Hello, welcome to UPRE. I'm E Boogie. I have Vic and Storm 459. I don't know you. I'm sorry. Would you like to introduce yourself? You're muted.
Why am I muted? Oh crap! Technical difficulties here.
Yes.
I'm your co-host for the night, Storm 459 from Unpopular Reviews Gaming Channel. Definitely check that out whenever y'all get a chance to.
Excellent. Tonight we're going to be covering Gremlins, one of my favorite Christmas movies, just because it's funny, it's charming, and it's got a little horror comedy mix going on, which is definitely my bag. First thoughts, anybody? Initial
This was a
thoughts?
Christmas movie?
Yes.
Yeah. This is a Christmas movie. You know what? I'll go first because
Wow.
I'm actually currently watching this for, I gotta say, probably the 50th time. This movie is very, very. It's very set in its time. It's very early 1980s, early to mid 1980s. One thing that resonated to me the most was the father with all of the inventions, all of the gizmos, I mind you, the fact that they even named this guy Gizmo is just incredible to the time, because this is one of the times where everybody was just making all these new machines. The Walkmans came out, the CD players came out, the boom boxes came out, all of these little devices. Everything was being made. Everybody was inventing something. So the fact that the father was an inventor and he was consistently going to all of this stuff, and you could just see, and one thing that caught my attention was just the attention to detail of, like, even when the father was on the phone, he just had like some weird thing next to him that somebody invented. There were people like at the conventions just driving these strange things. It was just all over the place. Right now, I'm nitpicking something very specific because I'm the old man in the group, right? So I kind of remember this. So now the other thing is that this movie, back when we used to have to watch television like on the TV and didn't have internet, and like we had to use channels, right? This movie was on channel 11 all the time. All the time. Just about, you know what I mean? The TV stations would play this movie all the time because it was a classic. Now, the time that it came out, you could see there's no CGI in this. It's
No.
literally a bunch of puppets. It's a whole bunch of puppets just running around being mischievous.
Well, they did have a little bit of animation when they were in the movie theater. Remember when they were behind the screen and the shadows were kind of, yep. And
Yeah.
then when they were like, after they had started to multiply in the pool, they started heading towards the town. That was like stop motion. So there was like a little mix of media there. It was pretty cool.
I agree. No, I agree. But for the most part, it's literally just a bunch of puppets. It reminded me a lot of things that went on in that time. It kind of it reminds me a little bit of Michael Jackson Thriller.
Yeah,
Um,
I can
because
see why you say that.
a lot of the makeup, a lot of the puppeteering, and just it was done around the same time. Mind you, Steven Spielberg was also involved in that. So like, now the one thing that I'm curious to hear the perspective of younger people, because like at the same time, I wonder if this ages well. Like it ages well for somebody that remembers it, if that makes sense. But I'm very curious to see how it is on fresh eyes. Because as soon as you picked this movie, I was like, oh, all right, cool. Kind of the same way I would think about Die Hard as a Christmas movie.
I love Die Hard. Very good movie.
Right.
Both are equally Christmassy. I
In
mean,
their own way.
exactly. So
Exactly. So, but
let's not put down one to lift up another.
yeah, and mind you, like with this movie, I hope that we end up reviewing the second one as well.
Oh no!
Because like
I want to be a part of that.
it's so great.
No,
It's so great. Like
we're not doing it.
This whole thing. I mean, like it's just, mind you, like it's just one of those things that it's a classic because you'll never ever see something like this again. Like this is just out of nowhere type invention, right? And it hit. It really did. At the end of the day, no matter what, in my opinion, it's entertaining. It's incredibly entertaining. And there's a lot that I didn't say because there is a lot to say. But what I did say is what I knew that nobody else was going to say, if that makes sense. Right? So, yeah. This movie is good. This movie is great.
Well, Vic, it's funny that you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Before I talk too much, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's funny that you said that because HBO Max supposedly is trying to bring it back.
Oh, nice.
Into a series.
Nice. Oh, like Jeffrey? Yes, that would be fire. What? This is content they could definitely turn into a series.
Yes.
And mind you, I was skeptical about Chucky. I was. But hey, it's not bad.
Yeah, there's a lot of really niche places on HBO for people to just corner with these 80s comebacks if they do them smartly.
I agree.
I definitely can agree to that. HBO
you know what? Cobra Kai
is really good. Cobra Kai is really good. My brother actually got me into that. I was like, what is that? But it actually was.
No, mind you, if you saw all three of those movies, especially back then, that is a hitter. Yes. Oh my God, that hit me in the crane vein. Anyway, let me shut up because we're talking about Gremlins.
Gremlins, that's right. So I'll go next. This movie is definitely a holiday classic. For me, it's unique because not only is it like a very early version of comedy horror that kind of set the precedent, it also pulls together a bunch of different pieces of other holiday classics. Like we see a snippet from Miracle on 34th Street, 34th. It has a little, there's a little bit of like what is it called, the Yellow Brick Road, a little bit of the Wizard of Oz mixed in there with the neighbor lady hating on Toto Jr. / Barney. And it's just it's got a lot of little things that they pull together that make it extra campy and cheeky that I really appreciate. I love a good Muppet, puppet, whatever animatronic from that era, because that stuff it took a lot of detail and time and commitment and a lot of eyes. There were a lot of hands on stuff like that that perfected. Like, look at this, guys. If I can pull this up, this is the amount of detail on these guys.
Yes,
is serious. Now, I think this might even just be a doll, but can you
imagine? Is a doll. No, that is a doll. That is a doll. Can you
imagine just from the movie?
Yes, no, that is a doll. But since you said doll, you need to understand And wait, you know what? You might not be old enough for this, but you need to understand the severity of this Mogwai toy. It was Tickle Me Elmo level of severity. It was PS5 level of just ridiculousness for this toy when this toy came out. This little stuffed animal and it used to sing too, right?
Oh Lord.
Oh, yep. Yep. I remember that was
It
so
was,
cute.
man, crazy. I'm sorry to interrupt.
Oh no, you good. You good. But yeah, this movie was just it was very American. It had its casual racism laced in there.
No, it was really the Reagan administration. It was
Definitely
Reagan.
in a small white town. You know, just lots of references to not understanding other cultures or ethnicities, or you know,
The
needing to,
foreigners.
needing to, because they're a
Right.
small town. It's just not a part of their lives, their
Right.
provincial lives.
Mhm.
That being said, this movie is really funny. It has its charm to it. There is one black man. There is one black man, and he's a teacher at that.
An
And
idiot.
preach from Schoolie High. Now, you know what? I'm gonna say Schoolie High, from Cooley High. Listen, you can't say that about him, but I will say this: what drug was in that syringe?
He was taking blood out. He was
that-
taking
No,
blood out.
it was a blood test. It was a blood test.
He
so
was taking blood out. He wasn't putting.
okay, but the gremlin at the end of his life, the gremlin had stuck the syringe in his butt cheek.
So you got to remember in its stage that it was in as a cute furry thing.
I remember
It trusted him enough to give his arm out. I guess he thought that the professor was going to give him something like to eat or anything of that nature.
Right.
And the professor literally just grabbed him, held him, and it hurt him. He was getting hurt by it. He hated the needle, and the professor just didn't care. Just like, yeah, all right, it's a little blood, you'll be all right. So it's kind of his way of getting back at him, like, oh, you stuck me. Well, here, hold that.
So my question is, what was in the syringe that had him dead? Because he works in a school, right? He shouldn't be up in the school anyway, right? There's young school children in the classroom. I'm like, what substance could you have in a syringe just lying around in elementary or middle school that would render you dead? But okay.
He had a lot of advanced chemicals in there. Like,
What was going on with that?
If you're a chemistry teacher, you might, yeah. But you didn't necessarily have a syringe that small. You would have a syringe small enough for a test tube, but not necessarily the patient. So yeah, you might have because I've never seen a teacher with a syringe that
it was the 80s.
You facts.
It was the 80s.
It was 80s. That's
probably a lot more lax back then.
Oh yes. Oh, definitely. I mean, you could
definitely casual drug use
with the language and the man.
It was definitely a completely different era back then. Like the fact that Mogwais are being sold, and it's like, y'all do realize y'all selling demons and evil spirits, and we're okay with this.
That was the demon. Right. He's a demon. Gizmo's a demon.
Well, that's what Mogwai translates from. Mogwai from Chinese to American means demon or evil spirit. So it's like the fact that you guys are marketing this means the times are definitely different back then.
Wow, I didn't even realize that's what it was.
Yeah, and that's just all about it being cute. Oh, it's a really cute little
Hey, I lived through and survived through the Furby era.
Oof.
I didn't get one.
I mean, the original Furby is the Care Bear.
It's not the Care Bear. It's Gizmo.
No.
Yeah, I would put Mogwai as the original Furby.
Yeah,
it looks like the damn thing
was around before this movie. You remember the cartoon? Care Bears came out in '70.
And look, we're not talking about toys. We're talking about like aesthetic, phenotype.
I'm just saying, if it's cute and it's furry and there's a bunch of them, people like it. Care Bears went over because there was a whole squad of them. You know what I mean? Just like the Seven Dwarfs.
Well, I really think Billy was so adorable. I really thought Billy. You guys remember Billy? How am I gonna say Billy?
Accent, I swear.
His little girlfriend was so cute too. Hated her backstory. It was terrible. You guys remember?
Oh, Santa Claus. Daddy dressed up as Santa Claus and broke his neck coming down the chimney.
Yeah. Well, oh, how could you laugh? How could you laugh? That's terrible. It's so sad.
Maybe back then that story would have been sad, but you listen to this story now and it's like, why would you do that? You idiot. Like, what were you thinking doing that? Stop. Why? Like, I get it. You wanted to surprise your kid, show him that Santa Claus is real. Instead, you kind of traumatized her for life. Congratulations. Yes. Father of the Year right there.
That was so sad and such a bummer in an otherwise very lighthearted movie. Like,
I laughed. It's funny. This whole movie was comedic to me. Like, can I say it aged well with the comedy? Yeah. Yeah. For a fresh pair of eyes, because this is my first time seeing it. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's my first time seeing it.
I'm very curious.
Okay. That's why your standards were so high.
Yeah, so I was like, okay, let me see what's going on here. And from a comedy aspect, it aged well. I was laughing ridiculously.
They really got gross with how they were killing them. This movie had a lot of like gross out factors, like the slimy eggs.
Can we please give Mom her props for being such a badass?
Yes, I was so proud
of her. She killed 4 of them by herself. Like, and the way she was doing it was just, you want to plate some cookies? Here, blended. Next one, she threw in a microwave. I said, oh, shoot, wait, what? And she stabbed one. I said, yo, badass to the mom. No fear whatsoever.
Her husband's unemployed. Like, that's the type of woman she has to be. She has to be strong, matriarchal. She in there still cooking like he bringing home the bacon when really the son working at the bank is the only thing paying the rent right now.
Facts.
Otherwise, this dude will be at her neck.
She was on Kill Bill mode with kitchen knives, and
it was serious.
She was not playing.
All right, guys. Anything you remember line wise? I'll say this one for me. With Mogwai comes big responsibility. I was like, Uncle Ben, is that you? Oh my God.
Really?
That's really like some gems. He just really dropped gems. I'm like, wow, this really has like a message here. And then when he came back, dropping more gems, he's like, your society just doesn't understand. You're not ready. You don't appreciate. You just destroy. Like, girl, give me
that hit home.
Back. Give me this back.
That definitely hit home when he came back at the end of the movie and said that. But I think for me, the most standout lines came from that little racist who just kept calling everything foreigners. Like, he watched the car break down. He said, you see that? For 15 years, it never gave me any problems. You know why? Because it's a Kentucky made here. Yep. That foreigner. I'm like, why is everything a foreigner for this guy? Like, even in the house, he said, we should have gotten a damn Zenith. And I'm just like, I remember those high quality gorilla back TVs back in the day.
Yes.
And he said, you should have got a Zenith. And I'm just laughing because he's looking at the TV. Goddamn foreign Saturday. Like, I'm just like,
hunchback.
No, I mean, but you know what though? It was very, very Ronald Reagan.
Yes.
Very, very Ronald Reagan. Very made in America. America first. Make America great again. You know what I mean?
In the bar.
It's modern day Trump. It's modern day Trump rhetoric, but at the time,
it definitely was
very, very much like Ronald Reagan. Like, everybody get a Zenith because it's made in America. Yeah.
All right, guys.
All of that programming was just hilarious. I agree.
It was Trey 80s camp, just full force, which I loved about it. But we'll get into what our what our votes are gonna be at the end. Can't wait to hear you guys. Very exciting. I guess I'll show you guys what the hell we're gonna watch next Tuesday. Hopefully everybody's, feeling okay and able to show. But you guys, hey, if you don't want some of us to come back, please let us know in the comments. We would love to hear that. Me especially.
I am issuing an arrest warrant for the masked vigilante known as Spider-Man.
Next Tuesday, Harry Potter as Spider-Man in The Amazing Spider-Man, the first installment. Come
Did
watch.
she just say Harry Potter, Spider-Man?
Come watch Daniel Radcliffe play one of the favorite Spider-Mans of all the iterations.
Am I the only one who feels like he would have probably played a better Wolverine? Like a good replacement for Hugh Jackman?
Including full front. If he did full frontal, then yes.
You know, after watching, wait, you know what? Let me stop it.
I don't know. He's got the perfect head for like those mutton chop sideburns. I could definitely see him with a spike.
I agree. After watching those movies, I get it.
You get what?
I just get him as Spider-Man.
Daniel or Tom?
Daniel. You know why? Because when I first saw it, I was just mad that they got rid of Toby. So that's where my framing was. And it was so soon after Toby. So that's where my framing was.
Well, you had a gap with Andrew.
Yeah. But like after seeing it with fresh eyes, I can appreciate it more. But I'll leave that for when we talk about that.
I was about to say, because you're alone in that. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are reviewing Gremlins.
All-time classic.
Part 1. Starring Billy and a small white town with one black teacher. Those kids are so lucky.
Woodcrest.
Those kids are so lucky. Woodcrest.
Oh man, all they needed was Uncle Ruckus in there.
That's all that was missing.
That's the only thing that's missing. We gotta review the Boondocks.
We should review the Boondocks because the Boondocks has some of the most influential television that has ever been aired. And the animation, spot on. But speaking of Boondocks, actually not. Back to Gremlins.
Yes.
Guys, it's a thumbs up for me.
Yeah.
It will always be. It's a happy holiday, Merry Christmas, all that jazz. I thought it was pretty funny. I love that it ended at a kind of a department store, because that is the bane of all existence when you're shopping for Christmas. It's actually the worst. Really signified what I hate about Christmas. Little monsters running around in the store when I'm trying to get my errands done. So thumbs up for me.
That makes a lot of sense.
That's why they were trying to find Turbo Man dolls later on that day.
They're sold out.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Try what's the pal's name? Is his
which one?
The pal. What's his actual name? The doll. Chucky's name really isn't Chucky.
Oh, the good guy.
What?
The good guy.
Yeah, the good guy. Mind you, that's selling like crazy too right now.
Is it? Wow.
Yes, it is.
Bring the 80s back. That's pretty cool.
Because of this show, the good guy doll has resurfaced.
Wow. That's incredible.
And mind you, they've been selling good guy dolls for years, but it was always the Chucky version. Now they're selling like, you know what I mean? Which is, but I get it, because nowadays everything gets cosplay.
Are you buying that?
You know what I mean? No, I'm too old to cosplay. But like,
are you buying a good guy doll?
Oh no, I ain't got no room for that.
You know who is?
You. She sure is.
How y'all doing? What's going on?
She sure is. Karen.
Okay. How y'all feeling? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Who want to go next? Y'all want to poo on it? Go for it.
Thumbs up. Look at her. She's tired.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
From a fresh pair of eyes.
I feel like we really, covered a lot.
Yeah, we did.
We definitely did. I like how we ignored just old lady who gets tossed out the window from an electric wheelchair as they're ready to go. Like I don't know why we're ignoring that. Like I found that to be one of the funniest moments. I loved
the way
it.
the gremlin came and messed up the chair. Oh my god. Go ahead.
The fact that they were Christmas caroling outside had me dying. I was in tears.
Okay.
So, animation was okay with it. Would I say get away with it today? Absolutely not. But the comedy was absolute gold. This movie gets a thumbs up from me. Like, hands down. I enjoyed it. Fresh pair of eyes, first time seeing it. I actually enjoyed this movie.
That's amazing. I'm so excited about that because I was totally prepared to call you a hater. Ladies and gentlemen, that was UPRE. I am E Boogie. That is Vic and Storm459. Hopefully he'll come back again. That's all I got.
More than happy to.
That's all I got for y'all. I hope that was enough. We love Gremlins.
Yes.
Always
please,
Gremlins.
if you've never seen Gremlins, please watch it.
Watch
Please
it and
watch
watch part 2. Watch part 2. Trust me. It is even
I
more.
think I am gonna watch part 2.
But listen, we're not covering part 2. It's not gonna happen.
What?